Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Hey, welcome to this episode of the Note Close Show. As always, Scott Carr, so excited to be here with you today. Today is the first Monday of March. The year is 1/6 of the way over. Where are you at in your goals for the year when it comes to buying or raising capital or whatever your focus is? Where are you at? Hopefully, you're closer than you were on January 1st, which is important. But today's episode, we're going to do a deep dive into the most recent foreclosure list here in Texas. That's right. The commercial foreclosures in Texas Texas is one of the fastest foreclosure states in the country because we're very lender friendly. We can foreclose in 21 days. You don't need a license to foreclose. You don't need a license to buy commercial debt. It's good to have a servicer help you out with that, but you don't need to have one here. And the great thing about it is this list changes a lot. That's good and bad, but there's a lot of opportunity if you know where to look. So that's what we're going to dive into today in this episode of the Note Close Show, just kind of going through the most recent foreclosure list in Central Texas here, walking you through where the opportunities are, where do we see possibilities, how to filter the list, how to read the foreclosure list that gets put out every month here by the Roddy or the Foreclosure Listing Service that we're big fans of. And they're sponsors here of the podcast as well. And as you guys know, we don't share anything or promote anything here that we don't use. And we've been a big fan of the Roddy List, the Foreclosure Listing Service for years. Get signed up. If you go there and get signed up for the residential or the commercial foreclosure list and use the code WeCloseNotes, that'll knock $20 off of whatever list you purchase, whether it's the residential in one county or a commercial list, one of the 5 commercial lists across the state. But anyway, let's dive in so you guys can start making some things happen in your backyard. Now, if you're not in Texas, yes, you can buy the list. Yes, it makes sense to buy if you're looking at commercial real estate. And we'll dive in a little bit more of that, why it makes sense. Now, if you don't want to buy in Texas, you want to look for more stuff in your backyard, that's fine. Go out and find who handles foreclosures in your area. You can always go to foreclosures.com. They're also fans of the show. Or reach out to me. We'll be glad to send you a discount code for that as well if you're outside of the Lone Star State. But anyway, let's dive into this. Now, there's obviously the Roddy List is what we do. We love you. Search Roddy's Foreclosure Listing Service or FLSonline.com. Pretty easy to dive in. They've got some video to walk you through whatever you do. The difference between the residential and the commercial list, though, with Roddy is a little bit more expensive. You're going to pay roughly about $45 to $85 per month for a residential list in one specific county. Like Harris County is going to be like $85 a month. Well, Harris is where Houston is at. It's also going to have a lot more so because it is the biggest county, but it's a great place like we talked about last week on the show and breaking down the most recent Harris foreclosure list. It's a lot of opportunity. Now, if you're going commercial, you're not going to buy it in one county. You're going to buy it over the 5 regions of Texas. And by the 5 regions of Texas, you have Central Texas, which kind of encapsulates Texas, San Antonio. You have South Texas, which is really below San Antonio. You have East Texas, which is, outside of, I would say, Columbus on I-71 all the way towards Houston and that neck of the woods, Tyler, stuff like that. North Texas is Dallas, Fort Worth area. West Texas is going to be west of basically, Austin, San Angelo, out into like El Paso, in that neck of the woods. So you can pick up a list. It's going to cost you about $300 a month, and you're going to have to sign up for 6-month minimum. So it's a bit of investment, $1,800. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's been one of the best investments that we have done in the last 6 months in finding potential deals, raising capital, and also talking with other people and finding opportunities that we can promote as far as and uncovering non-performing notes on residential commercial stuff if you're looking to do that, okay? So give you a bit of a breakdown where we stand at for the state of Texas here right now. Right now, as of today, there are 536 total foreclosures across the Lone Star State in commercial, okay? Now, that's just today. Tomorrow is the big first Tuesday of the month. It's, Foreclosure Tuesday here in Texas of March. What is it? March 4th. Across the entire state, though, if you look at everything residential and commercial, there's 4,148 foreclosures set to hit the auction blocks. That's a lot. Okay. Now, if you just look at the commercial side, 536, that breaks down into these numbers a little bit for you. Okay. Now, Central Texas here, basically, Austin, San Antonio is about 121. East Texas, like I said, Harris is 109. North Texas, 127. South Texas is actually got quite a bit more than they have had in a while, 159. Central Texas is about the same. East Texas is a little low. North Texas is about the same. South Texas has more foreclosures this month than they've had in the last couple months. And then you have West Texas is only at 20. West Texas often has less than 30 on them. If we look at the last 6 months, I think 26 was the highest or 28 was the highest. This month is down a little bit. Now, some of these are obviously going to get kicked to the next month. Sometimes they'll, people will file temporary restraining orders, they'll file bankruptcy, delay things, and it'll go to the next month, but that's okay. So just that gives you a bit of an idea. And how that breaks down here in Central Texas, as you can see, this is kind of the map of what's available, the tape we're going to break down. So you see, it's halfway between here and Houston is kind of where it cuts off. I can't remember where that's at. We'll pull that up later. But then you see San Antonio, Austin, upwards up to Waco, Killeen, south of Waco. Definitely, we've seen stuff in Waco and that stuff. But that's the map that we see. Now, we do see a lot of land. There's a lot of land on these. There's also multifamily and other commercial spots and stuff like that. So anyway, let's take a look or deep dive into it and pull up the spreadsheet and let you guys really start to learn a little bit. All right. So let me share my screen here. Central Com pre-foreclosure. Okay. So this is all right. So actually, this is the list. When I pulled it was January, was for the last month, was February. So I didn't pull the one yet, but it's the same stuff that you'll see. Okay, basically. So if you look at the list here, you can see it's a spreadsheet, Excel spreadsheet. I always like to go up here and hit the filter or the freeze panes, look at things. Give me 1 second here. Let me do this. When you're, and of course, stretch it all out so you can see what's going on. So you have the upload time when it was actually uploaded to the county. And that's what the Roddy List does. They send out somebody every day to the counties to pull foreclosure listings. And as long as something gets filed 21 days prior to the first Tuesday of the month, then stuff can go to foreclosure for that month. Okay, so you've got the report ID, the estimated equity in the property, estimated margin of percent of equity, unpaid balance is important. It's always a good thing to have, knowing that what that is. That's a dollar amount. The clerk number, the year of the report, month of report, city name, the county code. All right. Some of these they don't have the city names on them yet, or they didn't when I pulled the list, but that's okay. And you can see the classification. This is always important. So let's go ahead and filter this so you can start looking at things that you want to filter by. Okay, so we hit filter. All right, now you have, we go over here, you see the loan type. Most of these are commercial, some reverse mortgages. Sometimes you will see duplexes and triplexes or fourplexes in here that is technically a residential loan, but maybe zoned commercial property. So you get a little bit of that. Now, obviously, you get the city name, the address, the square footage. If it's got a pool sometimes, the zip code, the legal description, the legal description 2. Those are important to see what kind they are. Subdivision, the borrower's first name, the borrower's last name, and then the important thing up here, the lender, the mortgagee. Who's lending money on this? We're going to go ahead and highlight this in a light green. All right. Then you have, obviously, the attorney, the trustee who's foreclosing. Give you the sale date, the volume, page, all that stuff, good stuff. Loan month, the loan year, original loan amount. The monthly payments they estimate, interest rate, loan expires, what month it expires, what year it expires, year of the construction. That's kind of hit and miss across the board there, but a lot of this is land stuff here too, so don't worry about that. Number of units, and then if it was previously posting, which is an important thing, if it's been delayed a month or two, and then you get comments, and then you get the actual owner's mailing address, which is kind of nice. All right, and then the Zillow view if it's available. Okay, so going back there, that's kind of the spreadsheet on stuff that we're looking at. So the thing to look at is we don't have any city names on these. It's not really worth diving into for the most part. Let's just go ahead and get rid of those so you're not wasting time. Now, going back and updating the list, it would be a good thing to do, obviously. Okay. So we're getting rid of this. So now we're looking at areas. If you look at the map, you can see that's kind of all over the place. Now, let's go over to land type. That's what we're looking for. Classification. What type of deals are we looking for? Now, it breaks down to you have commercial, commercial general, commercial office, duplex land, multifamily, multi-dash family, rural residence, agricultural, vacant land, and other vacant land. So if you're an investor, what are you looking for? Well, let's just pull up the commercial stuff. I've been using this locally to look at land. There's a great thing to look about. Okay, let me give you just an example. So we click on vacant land, land, and land in general, hit OK. And it's all over the place there. So if you're looking for acreage, maybe you want your own, your own little farm. You start diving into this and start looking at, and a lot of times they'll tell you, get a lot of these are lots as well, but also some of them are acreage. So if you start going over here, you can start seeing the acreage side because it's in the legal description of it. So section 5, this is a third of an acre, 12, like if you're looking for land, 12.52 acres, that would be something to look at. So let's highlight that in green. Okay. 1.14, a third of an acre, 1 acre. 9/10, 173 acres. There you go. It's out in Hondo, Texas. Okay. 4/10, 4.47, 2 acres, 3 acres, 1 acres, 5.8 acres. Okay. Lots. 11.5 acres. Okay. That's in Red Rock. Lot. Yep. So there you go. That's kind of the, acres so far. I mean, it's anything more than really one for the most part. Don't make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah. And that's okay. I mean, you look at those. So here's 2 acres, 3 acres. Let's go ahead and take a look at that just for the heck of it. And you can kind of go over and see where that is. This is in May, Texas. This is in Hondo, Texas. This is Cedar Creek. So let's look at this one that's in Hondo, because that's a pretty good size, 173.65 acres. County Road 366. Here it is. Okay, come on. What was I at? There we go. So share screen. All right. So here we go. If I drop this in County Road 336, County Road, it's all over. So let's just click on here. So it's probably farmland if you look at this. County Road 366. And if I remember correctly, if we go back to the spreadsheet, they gave the Zillow map at the end, right? Yeah. So anyway, that's probably all farmland around here. This 366 starts down here. Yeah. There's that. Okay. So if you wanted to buy that, let's go back to our spreadsheet, give you a bit of an idea what's owed on the property. Okay. Now, if we look at that one in, okay, this is out basically San Antonio, Texas. Oh, no, that's not it. Yeah, that's it. All right. That's the owner's street address, 3. That's what it is. Okay. The owner's live in San Antonio. 2 CAD entries, combined value. Assessed value is for $1.6 million. It's not so bad for a chunk of acreage. That comes out to, what are they, 1.6? They borrowed 2.95. Oh, they're a little upside down on that one then. Assessed value is 1.6. Well, we all know it lands a little bit different. Larry Corbin is the guy who is the original seller of it, or finance it to this company there. And let's see what they owe on it. Land out in Hondo. Estimated unpaid bank balance $580,000. So technically, there you go. They bought it, and they think there's some equity there. Unpaid balance is 580. That you could basically pick that up. If you could pay that for 580, that's a pretty good deal when it comes to Larry Corbin. Hey, did you sell this? And that's something you would reach out to. Hey, Mr. Corbin, see that you're foreclosed, are you interested in selling the note? I mean, he probably wants to take the property back on that stuff. But if you could pick it up for 580, okay, 580, and there's 173 acres. Even if it is farmland, man, 173, let's say 580 divided by 173 acres. That's $3,000 an acre. That's really cheap. I mean, that's worth buying it. Let's look. If we go back to our map here, like, Scott, where the hell is that at? I don't necessarily want to buy something out in the middle of nowhere, right? I can understand that. So let's take this out here. This is probably the one that is, yeah, okay, so it's east of San Antonio. It's out here, mostly farmland, because you start seeing this. Yeah, see, it's mostly farmland. Okay. Let's go back. Let's look at some of these commercial, other more traditional stuff that you're probably looking for, sort of land. Okay, so let's go over here and change it again to, let's just do the commercial stuff. Let's select those, but we're going to unselect the land, rural, agricultural, vacant land, vacant land. Okay, and hit OK. So now we're sitting at, all right, so we got some stuff in Austin, Harker Heights. That's up by Killeen, Fort Hood, Killeen, Round Rock, San Antonio, Schertz, which is north of San Antonio, and Taylor, which is Williamson County, which is just north of here. Okay. Now, why is it the central stuff? Because I'm here locally. If I can drive by, I'll drive by. Okay. And then so you just go over here and start looking. So you get a reverse mortgage, commercial. Let's see what else we can find and see what we're looking at. So you see this stuff here, 14,450. It's several properties, several plat lines. So I think this is a apartment complex. Let's take a look here. 11450. This is 45. Usually a sign that these like is an apartment complex. So let's go over here. Oh, nope, it looks like it's on LoopNet. It actually popped up on LoopNet. So it's a building. Okay, there you go. 11450 Old Corpus Christi Highway. All right, come on, let's look at this stuff. All right, there you go. Let's go back here. So we know what that is. Just click maps. It's San Antonio here. It's this big, it's NASCARs.com, they call it, 11450. Got our little guy here. So it's three separate buildings. What does NASCARs.com do? Is a car repair basis, car repair place. Okay. Do you want to buy a car building for car repairs? Probably not, unless you're looking for some storage stuff. Okay. So let's click on this one more time. 11450. Make sure you guys can see this. Yeah. It's an auto repair. It's basically what it is. All right. Lot size, an acre. All right. So we go back to our spreadsheet. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 buildings. Okay. 4 buildings. Let's look at the amounts of these. Let's just highlight these 4. So what's owed on these things? Estimated equity, okay. Estimated unpaid balance. Here you go. Boom, boom, boom. So if you add those together, that's basically estimated unpaid balance. They owe 821,000 on that. Okay, 821. They got a bit of equity. Let's see what they figure as values on these. So you can see Lone Star National Bank is the ones foreclosing on these 4 entities, these 4 buildings. Okay. So you want to call Lone Star National Bank, hey, are you interested in potentially selling the note on these? Now, these took these things out in 2014, so I guess they were about 10-year loans. 1 year, yeah. Original loan amount they took out, how much did they take out? 1.1. So they paid it down a little bit. All right. But there you go. That's an opportunity there. Lone Star National Bank is foreclosing. It might be worth to see what else they have available on their books. Okay. Now the same, I always I don't want, on the residential stuff, I don't chase the properties. I look at the lenders. It's the same thing. Now, if you're chasing property type here, that's what we just do. You look at what's going on, the commercial buildings, is it a multifamily, what's the unit numbers, and go from there. All right. So let's go back over here. So always find like this one, 8603 State Highway 151. When you start seeing that they lift like Bed Bath garages in here, they're never always going to be right, Bed Bath garage. But there's often when you see a number like this, 211, that might be worth looking at. 8603 State Highway. If you're looking to buy stuff in, Central Texas. Here, in. This looks like it's a strip mall. There we go. 8603 Texas 151. It's also listed on LoopNet. So this retail center is, yeah, that's what it is. It's a retail, 30,000 square foot retail center. One store built in 2008, multiple tenants. No surprise, you start seeing commercial properties going to foreclosure, especially retail stuff like this. So let's go back to our spreadsheet. So that lender, who's that lender? So West Point Retail Center is the borrower. And it's Wilmington Trust NA. Okay. So Wilmington Trust NA, North America, with reaching out to, it might be better to reach out to the attorney, Gabriel Sanes. Say, hey, are you interested in potentially, do you know if your seller is potentially willing to sell? Okay. Now, the difference between now buying a commercial note versus a residential note, okay? Usually 2 different departments in the banks. Most of the banks would be willing to sell one-off commercial notes, okay? Notice on here, I didn't go through here to get rid of like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase, because you don't see a lot of those on here right now. You see, like this is probably a private mortgage asset management LLC, LLC, Foundation CREF Funding, Stallion Texas Real, that's a hard money lender, Broadway National Bank, Carrington Mortgage Services, Liberated Bank, SCF Jake LP, K&R Howell Corporation, Sonora Bank, Wallace Bank, Sonora Bank, Wallace Bank. So Sonora Bank's got some stuff on here, right? I'll just see what Sonora Bank has, because you can call them and say, I'm calling about, see what else you have, what you're looking to get rid of. All right, so as we look on this, what type of centers is this? Legal description. Let's look at this one. All right, so this is like 17,000 square foot in this one. So let's look at 2821 Guadalupe Street, San Antonio, Texas. This is, looks like another retail center. What is it? The Texas Department of Criminal Justice. That can't be right. There's got to be a building over here. Oh, it's 2821. That's probably. Let's go back and all right. So 2821 is what we're looking for. Is that right? Let me jump back here and check real fast. 2821 Guadalupe Street. Yeah. Okay. So it's the building. So State of Texas Pardons and Paroles Division is in this place. Okay. So it's whoever owns the building is getting foreclosed on. Doesn't mean that the that's just a tenant, the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. That's the parole division. All right, so let's go over here. So whoever owns this building isn't paying. You would think that would be a pretty steady tenant, right? Okay. District Parole Office. Yeah, so basically whoever's getting paid. Let's look at this. Here we go. That's a better 2821. Go. Yeah. So there you go. Now you will see these old listings on LoopNet where people were once trying to sell them. You know what I mean? It's a previous listing. Let's keep going down here. 2821. Office building. How many units? Lot 33. Say number of units is on an acre. No. But you know what? You could probably find a pretty steady tenant in taking that over, depending on what they owe. So let's go back to the spreadsheet. All right. So 2821 Guadalupe. Don't see that every day, but hey. Our estimated balance is 2.5 million. They owe their negative equity of 620. So they what finance 3.1. Original loan amount was 2.6. I'll tell you. All right. So that's that one. Okay. Original loan amount 2.6. They think it's only worth 1.9. Give us that number. It may not give us the number. 2.5. So, okay. All right, let's go look at a different one. Here's a little smaller amount. Same bank. Let's do it. 115 Davis Court. This is probably a duplex. 115 Davis Court, San Antonio, Texas, 22. Oh, it's a commercial building. Oh, it's a little cafe. Is that right? Looks like it's a little cafe there with the tables outside. Open. Let's go back and see what pops up. 118 Davis Court. Commonwealth Coffee House and Bakery. That's what it is. That's who the tenant is. What does Zillow tell us? Yeah, so that's not, it's just a commercial pre-foreclosure auction. Popped up. Used to be a house. Okay. So that's what it is. If a coffee house and bakery, let's go back to our spreadsheet here. Is somebody renting it out to the coffee house? See the borrower's name shows up on this. Yep. Commonwealth Coffee. So they're losing this one. And they got another one, Commonwealth Coffee LLC. Where's this one located at? This one's at a different one, 930 East Grayson Street. Okay. This is a small little house. 930 East Grayson right there. Huh. That must be like is that commercial offices or what is that? Hard to tell. Let's go over here because it may be. Huh. They're all kind of cookie cutters, isn't it? That's a nice house. Next to this park here. Okay. 930. That's the property. So let's do something. Let's go over here. So it was Commonwealth Coffee, right? Back to our spreadsheet here. And I'm gonna just do a Google search for the business. Commonwealth Coffee LLC. Antonio. So they've got quite a few locations. One, this is the one that's going foreclosure. Two, three, more places. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they got 4 places across San Antonio. Let's go to their website. Oh, that's not a good sign when their website's not up and running. So they're probably closed. Oh no, this one says open. Let's go to their website. Or let's go to Instagram. There you go. See if it's just different. No, see their website's not working. Maybe let's see when this was taken. February 19th. So yeah. Not bad looking. Oh, that's the one that we looked at there. Okay. Well, so the thing of it is to find out, let's reach out to the lender. What do you want for these? Would you be willing to sell them at a discount? They're upside down. Would they be willing to sell these two? Because then if they're interested potentially, then you'd want to, hey, what's going on with the leases? That's a lot of coffee to pay for what is that? Almost 1.7, $1.8 million in the real estate side of things. Okay. Can they afford it? Can they not? But that's potentially about a commercial spot that you could have 2 coffee spots, 2 houses from there. And who knows, right? If you like coffee. So let's go look at the rest of the banks here and see what else is available. Okay. So that's Sonora Bank. Let's look at Wallace Bank. And let's just go, let's see what we see about, Commonwealth Coffee. This is a person. Okay, here you go. Bennett Rose Investment in Properties, and they're getting foreclosed on by SCF Jake LP. So this could potentially, let's take a look at this one. 127 Hayes Avenue, San Antonio, Texas. All right, so here's a property. It's a 1,260 square foot house. Look at that. Okay. 126 is that one. So 127 is this one. Yeah, 127. So that's the property that's getting foreclosed on. I don't know if it's occupant or it's an office or this investment, if it's a rental property, sometimes you'll see that happen in the commercial listings. So let's go back to that one. Go back to share the spreadsheet. All right, so let's highlight this one in yellow. Now this is SCF Jake LP. You try to track that person. Bennett Rose Investment in Property. So they financed this. Let's see, what do they owe? So they say it's a multifamily. So maybe it's a duplex or triplex, who knows? 2,000 square feet. Estimated balance is 260. They expect they have some equity in the deal, about 10%. So So I took this out in 2022. So October 2022 for 265. And they're renting it out. It's been on the, see, here's the thing. It's been on here before. Previous listing, yes. So they've delayed the foreclosure on this for either them trying to sell it or, they're just delaying it, waiting for the borrower to sell off because they don't necessarily want to own the property back. So they say it's worth about 290. Original loan was 265, basically in October to 2 years ago. Do we have a term on here? Loan term. No, loan expired. Didn't give us when the loan expired. So maybe it was a 1 year, maybe it was a 2 year. So that would be something to look at if you're wanting to, buy a note on a property that it has renters in it. Might be something to look at. Okay. We've already look at this one, Wallace Bank. Wallace Bank is on here twice. So let's just see what those two properties are with Wallace Bank. All right, so it's the same borrower, Lionel Reyes Jr. Okay. 256. Wow, so he must have bought assessed value. So it's about, two cat entries, combined value. So these are 515 Camden Street. So it's different loans, two loans. Owes 143, 144 on both is the estimated unpaid balance. Took these out in, when did he borrow this money? 2006. Okay. All right. So let's see what type of property this is. In the past, we've seen more like multifamilies in San Antonio. Okay, so there you go. This is a doctor's office. Yeah. Oh, it's a medical clinic. Okay. I think 520. So it's this lot. And the medical. Let's make sure to look at this. Can we pull up an address on here? Let's go around over here. There's a class 3 felony to tag private property. Deadly force can be used to stop a class 3 felony. Okay, so they've been tagged a few times. What's it say there? That's it right there. I think that's what it says. 515 Camden Street. Yeah. So it's this lot. Okay. So it's a medical office. Same thing with that. Would it make sense to buy it and keep the existing tenant in place if they're still there? This notice is March of 2022. So it's probably, yeah. So River City Medical Clinic. Let's do that. River City Medical Clinic. San Antonio, Texas. That's it. Lionel Reyes empty. So the actual owner of the property is the borrower on this. So would you do a lease back? You could. I don't know if I necessarily would, especially since he's not able to pay his mortgage payments. The rent on these would probably be higher than the mortgage payment, but he might be able to. Maybe there's a balloon on this. There you go. That's the borrower based on what we saw on the spreadsheet. All right, so we go back here to the spreadsheet. That's the thing to look at is every one of these has a different tale to tell. Now, doctor, hopefully he has some you know, he's got some money sitting on the sidelines. And you see the link. Now, the same thing here. If you got private lenders on here, let's see if we can see. Roy Dawkins. Here we go. What's Roy Dawkins foreclosing on? Alicia Joyce Knoll. They're foreclosing on, what is Shady Meadows LLC? This is on something's about 20 acres. 760 FM 78, Schertz, Texas. So it's a property on 20 acres. 760 FM 78, Schertz, Texas. Okay. Oh, here you go. Yeah, I looked at this. Okay, so this isn't, it's a mobile home park. There you go. Outside of Schertz. I looked at this one. Yeah, it's kind of rough. The great thing is you can go through and look at it. So they've actually got it mapped down here. So you can do a virtual X, and it looks like there's got plenty of room for more mobile homes. This is from November of last year. So it's on 20 acres. There you go. And let's look at the customer. So you got, we can kind of tell how many units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 plus 12 is 28. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So basically 28 plus 16 is 44. So it's a 44 basically unit mobile home park. I think that's what it is. So it's on 20 acres. So we go back here and do the aerial again. There you go. So it does include some of these single family homes in here. It's adjacent to wall mounting hardware. Is that the house? Yeah, I think that's the house. Right there. Yeah, so you got a couple single family homes on this thing. Those are modulars along with all these mobile homes. Now let's go back to our spreadsheet here and see if Roy. All right, so this one has some definite potential. All right, so how much is owed? So they basically owe 1.2 million on it. They say it's negative equity. Estimated on balance 1.2. Don't know the cash flow value on this stuff, but let's keep going over here. They took out the loan in 2023 for 1.3 million. Monthly payments is $7,000 a month. So they took it out and they stopped paying. So the loan, yeah, so it was basically, it's a 30-year mortgage at 6.53 and they're not making payments. Wow. And it was not previously listed. So that'd be interesting to see. So that would be a hot button to reach out to. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And yep, the owner lives in the property. Right. I think that's it. 2721 FM 78. Seguin. Oh no, he does not. He lives in Seguin, Texas. So if the guy was willing to carry financing, he'd probably be willing to carry financing again on this. And this is where the owner lives in Seguin. But if we go back here, let's see here. Let's go back. Well, let's go back to our map. Let's go back to the property. we just look at this aerial view, I don't know how old it is, but there's basically about 20 acres. So you've got a pretty good chunk of chain. So what's back here? Boat storage and stuff like that. Okay. But if we look at number of units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 6, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 32. And I don't know if this tire spot is included in that or not. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just this part of Shady Creek. A1 Auto Sales. It's a used car dealership, but I guess they got rental trucks there. Let's look. Let's take a look. One more. Maybe if that's included, that would also be a nice bonus. But I'd be one that's probably a separate business. It's out. It's a front here, and everything else is behind. Okay. Huh. But that would be something to look at. I mean, maybe you don't own this, but you have the 20 acres behind it. Maybe they're leasing this. Who knows? But that one is definitely worth looking for, because if they owner financed it, it's not a bank, then they'd be willing to owner finances again to put potentially the right buyer. Right? There you go. That's a potential deal for you on a mobile home park outside of San Antonio. You see a variety of different things. It's not the first mobile home park. It's not the first. We see a lot of variety of buildings, office buildings, strip malls, apartments. Surprisingly, this month, there's not really any apartments listed on this, and that's okay. It is what it is. Any questions, any comments, concerns? The great thing, guys, these commercial notes, the banks are often willing to carry financing on a chunk of these. You don't need to have the full amount down. If they're willing to sell the note to you, oftentimes, if you bring 10, 20% of what the note purchase price is, they may owner finance it back to you at a quick foreclosure price. I've seen it happen on land. I've seen it happen on all sorts of commercial stuff. So it makes it a little bit different. You just got to step in, though, and expect to, have some operations and management experience or have a team on to help you out with that. All right. So hopefully this is valuable for a commercial properties. Hey, you can see in the notes, you see all sorts of different types of deals on these. Less people sign up for it at $300 a month than the residential. So it gives you a little bit of a smaller, there's not as many people targeting these because there's not as people buying the list. So it gives you the opportunity to really dive in. If you like Texas, great. You can buy this list from outside of Texas and work to find deals on here, make phone calls, and go from there. So any other questions, comments, concerns before we let you go for the day? Hey, Cord, good to see you, buddy. Dale, Todd. Hopefully that was valuable for you. So check it out. Foreclosure listing service. Just Google Roddy List. Use the code WeCloseNotes to get $20 off, whether it's a residential list or your commercial list. Go out, take some action, everybody, and we'll see you at the top. Bye.